we have a phenomenal guest, someone I feel so privileged to bring on today to share with us how we can battle and overcome our limiting beliefs. Now, as thought leaders, as coaches, as people who are in the mind renewal, or let me say transformational space, the number one battle we face, that we fight 99% of the time, is the mindset battle, right? So when you are a coach, half of your job is done if you can get your clients to think a certain way. And so if you yourself now battle with limiting beliefs, how will you be able to do so well? How would you be able to, give your best or show up powerfully to your clients? And that's why it's important for you to clean up your mind first, continually, and break every barrier, every limiting belief holding you back. All right. So that's the whole idea of today's session. I will not attempt to tell you all of these things. That's why we've brought an expert who is phenomenal at what she does. And it's with excitement I bring up to the stage Kelianne Uzo. Hi, Kelianne.
Hi everyone. Good
Uh,
evening, everybody. I don't know, everybody's in a different time zone, but it's evening
mhm,
here in the UK. So,
mhm.
hi everyone. I'm streaming from Manchester, United Kingdom.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay then. So yes, we have Kellyanne all the way from the UK. So Kellyanne, tell us please. Okay, so tell us please this whole idea of limiting beliefs and all of that. Can you tell us briefly what limiting beliefs are? Okay, or before then, sorry, I would love for you to please introduce yourself to us. Tell us all the awesome things about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Kelianne Uzo and I reside in Manchester, United Kingdom. My background is mental health. I'm a mental health practitioner, a registered mental health practitioner, and I have extensive work experience working for the National Health Services and for private hospitals here in the UK. And I am as well a confidence and a wellness coach. So that's me in a nutshell. So limiting beliefs, first of all, are, I would say, is something that everybody struggles with in different walks of life, in your personal life, in your professional life, in your business life. So first of all, I'll define what limiting beliefs is. Limiting beliefs are the thoughts and opinions that one believes or we tell ourselves that these thoughts and these beliefs are absolutely true until, like Coach Temi said, until there's a mindset shift. We don't shift from those beliefs, and it tends to have a negative impact on you, on whoever has those limiting beliefs, and it stops you from moving forward and from growing in whatever you want to do, both in your personal and professional life. So first of all, that's the foundation. That's what limiting beliefs is. So so many things can trigger limiting beliefs. Could be limiting beliefs can just sneak up on you like a thief in the night. Or it could be a reason of some external factors. It could be your childhood. It could be some kind of trauma you experienced. It could be abuse. It could be anything that can also set off limiting beliefs. If you are a child that your parents never like praised you for whatever you did, and they always saw fault in what you did rather than have a balance and criticize your faults in a very constructive manner, this can actually grow. You can actually grow into an adult who has limiting beliefs because of your foundation. So sometimes, and this is quite common in some African homes, you know, my background, I'm African, I'm Nigerian, even though I grew up between the US and the UK. See, a typical African parent or Nigerian parent would say to a child, I remember back in the days I went to primary school in Nigeria, when if you don't come first place in the class, rather than some parents to criticize you constructively, they could say, oh, the person that came first in your class, how many heads do they have? And, you know, little things like that, they build up on you and they show up on you when you're an adult. This is your subconscious mind absorbing some of these negative things that have been spoken to you. So that's one. Another one is when you're an adult or while you're growing up or when you're an adult and you face some kind of trauma or some kind of abuse, it can actually limit you. For example, I'll give a typical example of a limiting belief that I had very recently. Limiting beliefs are generalized, and then I'll go into limiting beliefs as a business person, as an entrepreneur, and as a coach. But the other day, as a professional, I came home driving to my driveway and somebody bashed into my car from the back. And it was a brand new car. The car was like, when I mean brand new. And somebody bashed into me from the back. And I was so terrified, even though nothing happened to me physically. When I came out, it was the beginning of the year. It was the first week of January. So I came into the house, I sat down all day. All I did was sulk and complain and say, oh my God, it's the beginning of the year. What is this? I quickly switch on some limiting beliefs in my head. Like, it's the beginning of the year. This has happened. Oh, what kind of luck is the rest of the year going to be? That's me opening up the room for limiting beliefs. And and then I was still working full time in my permanent job. I called in to my boss at work and told him what happened. And can you believe I did not go to work for 2 months?
No way.
Yes, I called my GP. I said, I'm actually really terrified to get into the car. I actually set some barriers on myself because of that. My GP told me to, he knows I'm obviously a confidence coach, told me to go back and read one of the books that I know that I always read. He told me to go back and read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I read it and I had to do some kind of mindset shift to be able to get into the car and drive out after the car was repaired. Can you believe that? That's a limiting belief that I set on myself.
Due to an experience.
Yes.
So past experience.
Yes. So that could, some kind of trauma or an experience can cause you to have a limiting belief. Another thing that can cause you to have a limiting belief is you believing you're not good enough. As a business person or as a coach or a thought leader, you could have all the knowledge, the skills, the expertise, everything, you know, you've got it. And then all of a sudden, the imposter syndrome, which is a limiting belief on its own, sneaks up on you and tells you you cannot do this. And then you start to believe it. It tells you, oh, you don't know enough. But what you know is already enough. Like when I started my coaching business, I didn't really know what I was doing, you know, until I decided to sign up for the BYB program, which is Business of Your Brand program with Coach Temi here. The first thing we did was to do the mindset work. I had so much limiting beliefs in myself, even as a professional, even with the university degrees, that all relates to what I'm doing right now as a coach. I have the expert knowledge. I can talk about anything, confidence, mindset, mental health. Even if you wake me up in my sleep, I could coach someone perfectly, but I did not believe that I was good enough. I believed the market of coaching was saturated. I believed people would think, who am I? Who is this one? Where is she coming from? You know, or who does she think she is? These are the limiting beliefs that I had.
I know that feeling.
Exactly.
You know, just allow me a second here. Before I niched into working with coaches, oh my goodness, I so battled with that imposter syndrome, that who are you? to call yourself coach of coaches. How many years have you even coached yourself? That's now you think you have what it takes to coach coaches. For like 2 years, I battled with it. I'm telling you. So I
Yeah.
know that feeling absolutely. Until someone told me that, but Coach Temi, you've gotten results. You've coached for like 5 years, you've gotten results. People need what you know. You've made mistakes. And
Exactly.
so you need to teach people, other people, how to avoid such mistakes. I think it took a lot of mind work for me to own it that, okay, tell me it's okay. You can coach coaches.
Yes.
um,
So yes, and you know personally, Coach Temi, because obviously me being in the BYB, I knew my weaknesses, and I quickly came to you on a private note and said to you, I need to upgrade to your VIP. I need that one-on-one coaching, because I knew my limits anyway. Overcoming limiting beliefs, you can overcome them, but you can also have some limitations in you that you know that you need some extra push to do it. A typical example of things like that is like when children or an adult is dyslexic and they know that they need extra help. It's not like they can't get the work done. They need extra help and extra time to do the work. So here in the UK, they take things like that seriously. If a child or an adult is dyslexic and you're in the university or you're in the school and they give an assignment and everybody else is supposed to submit in 4 weeks, they can postpone yours to like 6 weeks or 7 weeks. And they can give you special aid, special things to help make the work easier for you and help you to submit at a different time because of your pace, as well. So having limiting beliefs is one thing, and also knowing your limitation is
being
another thing.
aware of them.
Exactly. If you know your limitation as a thought leader, as a coach, that shouldn't stop you from shining. Rather, seeking help to overcome those limitations is something that you need to actually look into. I knew that productivity was my limitation. This one is not a limiting belief, it's just my limitation. And I knew that being in a group, I'll thrive in a group, but I will need someone to hold my hand to overcome certain steps in my business for me to get to where I really want to get to. And that's the part that I really didn't care how much it would cost for me to invest in that, because I knew myself. So self-awareness is a part of the journey that you have to take yourself through if you are trying to overcome limiting beliefs. Self-awareness is something that you really have to be aware. You have to be aware of yourself. You have to be aware of your strengths, your weaknesses. And until you do that, you probably will keep running around in a merry-go-round. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. In fact, I feel if that was all you came to share, I think we've had it good from you. OMG. Okay, so of course, I know you have a few more notes to share with us on how to overcome the limiting beliefs that you have identified here. So you want to go into other things that would lead us to overcoming those limiting beliefs, maybe the types. I think you've mentioned the types, you've mentioned the origin or how we get them. And now just take us away into what you have prepared for us. Thank you.
All right. I have an upcoming webinar which is called Unstoppable Confident Woman. But in this forum, I'm just going to share generally, not only about women, about overcoming limiting beliefs, the steps that you can take in overcoming limiting beliefs, whether you're a man or a woman. So I have a program called Unleash Your Confidence, which is the first thing we tackle there is self-discovery, which is self-awareness in a nutshell. And in this, you need to go through the steps of knowing your core values, which are your strengths, your weaknesses, your passion, your goal, and all of that. So you have to identify your core values, passion, strengths, goal, and begin to set yourself those goals is the first thing. And then overcoming the mindset block, you need to really dig deep and do the inner work. The inner work that you need to do is knowing the self-sabotaging beliefs that you have. Those self-sabotaging beliefs, you have to ask yourself, are those beliefs real? Or are they just something that I think is real, but is not real? How do you validate that and know if it's real or not real? You step back and think about the things that you've done in the past and you've been successful at doing them, and that would give you the strength to set yourself. You can start by setting little mini goals so you can achieve those goals. And if you have an accountability partner or somebody that would work with you to hold your hands, or like someone you can check in on to see if you're to keep you on track with your goals, that's another one. Another one is beginning to identify, journal and identify affirmations that serves you the best. So positive affirmations are one of the ways that you can overcome limiting beliefs. Initially, when you start these positive affirmations, it might be a very strange practice if you've never done any sort of affirmation before. But if you're used to praying, affirmation are like prayers. It's just you saying out your thoughts, and saying out positive thoughts and positive things in your life, positive things, exchanging those negative beliefs into positive words and speaking them out loud. You can also go and listen to positive affirmations and learn how to make your own affirmations. Write them down, say them to yourselves, and trust me, by the time you do it and get used to doing it, you will start reframing your mindset and start saying positive things about yourself and believing in those positive things. So that's that. Any other thing?
Yes. So you've raised two things to my awareness. You said there's a need for us to be self-aware if we want to overcome limiting beliefs, right? So there's a self-awareness part of it where we need to know who we are so that we can tackle the limiting beliefs when they come. And then you mentioned positive affirmations, right? So you're saying that these are the steps that we need to take. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So can you share with us more on this?
More on the self-awareness or the positive affirmations?
Yes, I think the self-awareness part in particular.
Okay. The self-awareness part is, like I said, knowing your core values and your passion and your strengths and your goals. For example, what is it that ignites you? What's your value? What's your value? I mean, Coach Temi has a workbook that actually breaks this down for you. Your strength, your weakness, your strength and your core values. What keeps you? What are you so passionate about for example, as a thought leader or as a coach? What are you so passionate about that you know that you can do and do very well, even if you don't acquire more skills and more knowledge, that you can do it comfortably? So when acquiring, if you decide to acquire more skills and knowledge, that would just be an added bonus. For example, my core values are, I like helping women because of my own story. Because of where I'm coming from, I have these core values in me that I'm passionate about. Sorry, I'm just going to bring up, I have a core value worksheet that I created. I'm just going to bring it up if you just bear with me. Yeah, identifying those things that you are passionate about and keying into them and knowing that those things, that's you. So when the limiting belief comes, you just fight them, knowing that you already have these things that you are good at doing. They're your strength, and that the lies of the limiting belief, you just learn to quieten those lies when you know your core values. Sorry. I'm just trying to bring it up. Right, so the core values Examples of core values are your competency, your greatness, your leadership skills. Are you a motivator? Do you motivate other people? Are you someone that brings happiness? Your assertive spirit, empathy, adaptability, so many things. Your strengths, whatever area your strengths are, your openness, thoughtfulness, discipline, freedom. So you have to identify all these core values and what values are essentials to your life. You have to ask yourself deep questions like that. What values represent the way you'd like to show up in the world? What values are essentials to supporting your inner self? So you have to begin to ask yourself these questions. How does your core value make you feel? Are they consistent with who you are right now? Do they belong to you or do they belong to others? So also, like I mentioned, going through the workbook, I can't remember what that workbook is called. Coach Temi, can you help me out here? I have it. I printed it out because I can't hear you.
You mean the purpose discovery workbook?
Yes, the purpose discovery workbook. So you hear me saying self-discovery. So that's in equation to Coach Temi's purpose discovery workbook. So that will help you to identify and really hone in on yourself. It's a self-discovery journey. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. So I'm not sure we have any questions here at all so far. But if we do, how best can we reach out to you? How can we get a fuller version of this? You mentioned earlier that you have a webinar coming up. When is that and how do we register, please?
Yeah. The webinar is called The Unstoppable Confident Woman. The link to register will be on the description of this live video. Is www.kelianneuzo.com/UCW. Kelianne Uzo, spelled KELIANNEUZO.com/UCW. That's where the link to register for the webinar is. And you can always find me on Instagram at Kelianne Uzo, KELIANNEUZO, all together. You'll see more information about the webinar, and also on the link on my bio, you'll find my website and some freebies and some other goodies there.
Okay, so I've just put the link now. In the chat. So I want to know if you have maybe some nuggets to share with us to wrap up this conversation.
Yeah. What I have to say to wrap up this is you have to do the inner work, transform your limiting beliefs, and also build resilience. And for you to make it happen, you have to take these steps. And also, even when you feel more confident within yourself and you feel you've overcome these limiting beliefs, they can sneak up on you randomly. They do sneak up on you. Nobody out there is perfect. Even well-known superstars and celebrities suffer from limiting beliefs, especially the one called the imposter syndrome. The late Maya Angelou, I don't know if it's her 11th book or I can't remember which book she wrote. And she said, oh, they're going to catch me out. She didn't mean they're going to catch her out like she's a thief. She had in the imposter syndrome. She mentioned that she suffered from the imposter syndrome, thinking, who is she to write yet another bestseller? And she felt like a fraud. Imposter syndrome is a limiting belief that will make you feel like a fraud, even when you're doing so well. So it can't sneak up on you, is knowing how to overcome it when it sneaks up on you. That is you building the resilience to overcome it when it comes. Sometimes you might need an accountability partner or a coach to check in with, to remind you of your greatness, of who you are, to overcome these limiting beliefs. So they could sneak up on you. It's just something to be aware of. Your self-awareness and self-discovery will help you to master your emotions and to be in check with yourself at all times.
Okay, I don't know if you can see my chat.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So my framework is for my unstoppable confident woman is my webinar, but my signature coaching program is called the Unleash Your Confidence program. Is a 6 weeks program which is divided into 3 stages. In each stage is got 2 phases. 3 stages, 2 phases. The first phase is self-discovery, and the second stage is healing work. Then that is the stage 1 part called clarify. So here you clarify and start doing the mindset work. And then the stage 2 is transform. So you begin to do the inner work. There you do any healing and any forgiveness that you need to do to let go of any inner child or any trauma or anything that is stopping you from being the best version of yourself. Then the next one is transform your limiting beliefs. So here you get in on how you transform your limiting beliefs and all that. So you regain and you are good to go to make it happen.
Okay, so I think I missed something there. You said you need to clarify and you transform.
And then you regain.
Okay, so that's the path. Okay, so please spend a little more time taking us through the steps. What happens at the clarify stage? What
Okay.
happens at the transform? What happens at the regaining stage? Let's know the exact steps we need to take
On the 3
to
stages.
move from where we are right now to where we want to be.
Okay. The clarify is the self-discovery. Here you examine your core values, passions, strengths, and goals as they are right now, and consider if they are aligned to your bigger vision that you have for yourself and what needs to change in the process. So you do the inner work of clarity there and your mindset and the secrets to becoming a courageous woman. That's all the work you do there. So in the next stage,
once we're done with clarifying, the next thing we have to do is to transform our minds, right?
yes.
So how do we transform our minds, please?
So the transformation of your mind is, sorry, hold on, I'm just going through it. The transformation of your mind is you examine your limiting beliefs, reframe those limiting beliefs, reframe as in reframe, reframe them in those limiting beliefs to the beliefs that serves you to become the best version of yourself. So there you learn how those beliefs were formed in the first place, and that's identifying and knowing. You overcome the limiting beliefs associated with the aftermath of anything you've experienced or what is holding you back. Then you learn about the power of the subconscious and the conscious mind, and it helps you to transform those limiting beliefs. Then the last stage is
so once it's transformed, the next step for us to take is to regain.
Yes, and in the regain, here we take small steps every day that will help you to build your resilience in creating new habits. You take action.
So if I understand you very well now, as a coach who is trying to overcome my limiting beliefs, you're sharing with me the steps I need to take, right? So if I go through the steps, I will be able to overcome my limiting beliefs.
Yes, you'll be able to master your emotions, become self-aware, and build resilience to finally overcome those limiting beliefs. And you also, that resilience is what helps you whenever those limiting beliefs sneaks up on you. You've already built the resilience like an ammunition to fight those beliefs if they sneak up on you again.
Okay, so you are on the regain.
Yeah, on the regain, the last part of the regain is taking small actions and small goals on your goals, so that you have evidence that it's possible to achieve bigger goals. So you set yourself small goals, and then you crush those small goals, and it makes you know that you're capable of achieving bigger goals. It's just like stages in school. When you go from primary 1 to primary 6, it's stage by stage. You know, setting goals, you have to be smart about it. Don't set yourself goals that are unrealistic and unachievable and not achievable. So you set goals and you work on crushing those goals to give you that validation that you can really do what you set your mind to. So that's it. So we develop the tools that help you. We, as together during the coaching, develop the tools that helps you every time you find yourself doubting yourself again. Exactly what I said. Coming up, when you come up with the resistance due to fear, due to those limiting beliefs, you have to have the resilience to overcome. So that's what you build at the final stage.
All right. Okay, then. Thank you so much. I think this has been a pretty insightful session. Thank you for saying yes to this invitation. Thank you for sharing so freely. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. So, guys, if you have questions, it's okay for you to ask in the comments. It's okay for you to reach out to Kelianne to ask her on Instagram at Kelianne. Kelianne is Kelianne. Kelly, Keli, then Anne, Uzo. Okay, that's it's actually fine for you to send her a DM on Instagram. And then she has an upcoming webinar, the Unstoppable Confident Woman webinar. You can register at www.kelianneuzo.com/UCW. Kelianneuzo.com/UCW. Thank you again for being here today, Kelianne. Thank you
Thank
for honoring this invitation. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
having me.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Thank you for being with me today on today's edition of the Highly Paid Coach series. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please do catch the replay in case you joined us, in the middle of the live stream. Catch the replay and do share with your friends and family. Have a good evening
Thank
and
you,
bye
everyone.
from bye from Ado Ekiti, Nigeria.
And Guy from Manchester, United Kingdom. Thank you,
Awesome.
Coach Temi, for having me here. I appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.